The threat arrives. The sky above Earth was quiet, too quiet. When the first warning came, ships in the outer orbit detected a fleet unlike anything humans had seen before. Massive shapes moving with precision, glowing lights cutting through the darkness of space. And then the message arrived, clear and cold. Earth, kneel or be destroyed. Governments around the world scrambled to respond. Satellites sent images. Scientists analyzed every signal. Generals called emergency meetings, but no one knew the size or strength of the fleet. Fear spread faster than news, and people whispered about the end of humanity. In the middle of all this chaos, Captain Myra Vance stood on the bridge of the Horizon Star, one of Earth's fastest ships. She watched the blinking red alert lights, her hands trembling slightly, though she tried to hide it. The message from the aliens replayed in her mind, cold and demanding, like a shadow stretching across the planet. Myra had trained her entire life for space emergencies, but nothing had prepared her for this. The order came from the United Earth Council. Captain Vance, you are to join the Midnight Fleet. Secrecy is critical. Humanity's survival may depend on you. The Midnight Fleet was a secret, a gathering of the best ships and pilots from every nation, built to fight a threat bigger than any one country could face alone. Few people knew it existed, and even fewer believed it could save Earth. As Myra prepared to leave, she felt the weight of the world on her shoulders. Every decision could mean life or death. Every second counted. The crew around her moved with trained efficiency, loading weapons, checking shields, and running diagnostics. Yet even in their calm faces, fear lingered. Meanwhile, in orbit, the alien fleet advanced, its massive ships blocking out stars, moving like a storm through space. Each vessel was larger than Earth's biggest battleship, yet they moved with grace and speed, sending drones to scout the planet, scanning cities, oceans, and military bases, leaving a trail of unease wherever they went. Back on Earth, leaders tried to respond, but communication was slow. Some countries wanted to surrender, others called for an immediate strike. Arguments broke out, and it became clear humanity had no single voice. Only the Midnight Fleet had a plan, even if it was dangerous and uncertain. Myra stood on the observation deck of the Horizon Star, staring at the dark shapes beyond the atmosphere. She felt a mix of fear and determination. We may be outnumbered, but we will fight, she said quietly, more to herself than anyone else. As the fleet prepared for departure, a new signal came from deep space. It was faint, almost hidden, but it carried a strange pattern, something Myra had never seen. The scientists on board guessed it could be a weakness, a clue to how the aliens fought, but there was no time to study it in detail. The Midnight Fleet jumped to their first position, cloaked in the shadows of the asteroid belt, ready to observe and strike. Tension filled every corridor of the ships, the silence broken only by alarms and the low hum of engines. And then the first alien scout ship appeared, darting like a missile, its weapons firing with deadly precision. The fleet's shields flared, and explosions lit the void. Myra's heart pounded as she gave orders. Return fire. Protect the fleet. The battle had begun, the war that would decide the fate of Earth. Humanity was about to face the largest threat it had ever seen, and for the first time, Myra understood that courage would be the only thing standing between life and total destruction. Humanity gathers the Midnight Fleet, drifted in the shadows of the asteroid belt, silent but alert. Every ship carried the best pilots from every corner of Earth. Engineers, scientists, and soldiers, all brought together for one purpose: survive. Captain Myra Vance walked through the corridors of the Horizon Star, observing the crew. Their faces were tense, hands shaking slightly, but their eyes burned with determination. She knew fear was natural, but hesitation could kill them. On the command deck, Admiral Riker studied a holographic map, showing the alien fleet advancing closer to Earth. We are outnumbered, he said, his voice calm but heavy. Every decision must count. Every ship must fight as one. Meanwhile, in hidden bases across Earth, scientists worked around the clock, analyzing alien signals captured by scouts. They noticed strange patterns in the enemy transmissions, repeated frequencies and strange energy signatures, suggesting that the aliens might have weaknesses. In one lab, Dr. Leela Chen whispered, "If we can find the right frequency, maybe we can disable their shields." But she knew testing would take time they did not have. Time was slipping away like sand through a cracked hourglass. As the fleet prepared for battle, tension rose among the pilots. Some wanted to attack immediately, others argued for caution. Mira listened to their debates. Knowing that arguing could waste precious hours, she finally spoke. "We cannot let fear divide us. We must move as one, or we will fail." The crew nodded, their focus sharpening. Even the youngest pilots, barely out of training, understood the stakes. Every ship, from the smallest scout to the largest battleship, had a role to play, and mistakes would be fatal. Suddenly, a signal appeared on the main screen. An alien scout approaching fast. The fleet reacted instantly. Shields flaring, weapons powering up. Explosions lit the darkness as the first clash began. Drones from the alien ship firing relentlessly. Myra's heart pounded, hands gripping the controls. "Target the engines," she shouted, her voice steady despite the chaos. Her ship moved with precision, dodging energy blasts, returning fire with deadly accuracy. The scout ship erupted into fragments, floating silently in space, but victory was brief. A new wave of alien ships appeared on the sensors, larger and more numerous. It was clear the aliens had been testing them, probing for weaknesses. Every pilot knew this was only the beginning. Amid the tension, the strange signal from deep space returned. Flickering across the fleet's sensors, Mira stared at it, her mind racing. Could this be the key to winning the fight? A weakness hidden in plain sight. She needed time to analyze it. But time was the one thing they did not have. Admiral Riker made the decision. "We gather all ships. Prepare for a coordinated strike. We will face them together, or not at all." The fleet responded, engines humming, weapons ready. Every pilot focused on the task ahead. As the Midnight Fleet moved closer to the alien main fleet, Mira felt a mix of fear and determination. She knew that the survival of Earth rested on their shoulders, that every choice, every maneuver, could tip the balance between life and annihilation. And then, from the corner of the sensor screen, a massive alien battleship emerged, larger than any ship they had seen. Its weapons powered up, ready to fire. The fleet braced for impact, tension so thick it was almost visible. The first true battle for Earth was about to begin, and the Midnight Fleet knew there would be no turning back. The first clash, the Midnight Fleet floated in the void near the asteroid belt, waiting for the signal to attack. Every pilot checked their weapons, engines, and shields, hearts pounding with a mix of fear and excitement. Captain Myra Vance stood on the bridge of the Horizon Star, eyes fixed on the dark shapes moving toward them. The alien fleet emerged from the shadows, massive ships lined up like predators circling a herd. Their energy weapons glowed bright, reflecting off asteroids, and the soundless hum of their engines filled the void. Every human ship knew that this fight could be the last. Admiral Riker gave the order, "Engage on my command, stick to formation, target their weak points." The fleet surged forward, engines roaring, shields flaring, a wave of courage sweeping through every pilot. The first shots were fired, beams of energy streaking across space. Explosions lit the darkness, sending fragments of alien drones spinning. Myra's ship twisted and turned, dodging fire, firing back with precision. "Keep moving, protect the fleet," she shouted, voice cutting through the comms. Despite being outnumbered, humanity's pilots fought with skill and courage. Every move was calculated, every maneuver a test of nerve. Young pilots who had barely trained in real combat surprised even the veterans with their daring. In the middle of the battle, Mira spotted the alien command ship. Larger and stronger than the others, its weapons were deadly, capable of destroying multiple human ships at once. She realized that if the command ship fell, the alien fleet might retreat. Giving humanity a chance, she led a daring strike, weaving through enemy fire, lasers and missiles exploding around her. Every second felt like a lifetime, and yet she pushed forward, her crew trusting her instinct. As they closed in, Mira noticed a strange pattern in the alien shields, a faint pulse that flickered when hit with fire-based energy. "Fire weapons with heat focus," she shouted, realizing the aliens were vulnerable to fire. Her ship unleashed a concentrated blast, and the alien command ship shuddered under the attack. Sparks flying across its hull, the rest of the fleet saw the effect and joined in. Targeting the same weak points, alien ships started to falter, some exploding, some retreating in confusion. Humanity's hope surged, but the battle was far from over. Suddenly, an alien strike team broke through the fleet's defenses, ramming smaller ships, disabling shields, and forcing the humans into desperate maneuvers. Myra's ship was hit, alarms blaring, systems failing, yet she refused to retreat. "We fight together or we die together," she yelled. Amid the chaos, the strange signal from deep space pulsed again, brighter and stronger this time. Mira realized it was guiding them, showing the way to hit the alien fleet's most critical points. If they followed it, they might survive, but the risk was immense. The fleet managed to regroup, limping through the debris of destroyed ships, their shields flickering, engines damaged. Yet the aliens were retreating, shocked by the unexpected resistance. Humanity had survived the first clash, but the cost was heavy. Captain Mira looked out at the field of battle, silent fragments of ships floating like ghosts in the void. She knew the aliens would return, stronger and smarter, and that the true test was still ahead. The Midnight Fleet had proven itself, but the war for Earth had only just begun. Secrets and strategy. The Midnight Fleet regrouped in a hidden sector beyond the asteroid belt. Battered but alive, every ship showed signs of damage. Hulls scorched, shields flickering, and engines strained. The pilots were exhausted, yet their eyes burned with determination. Captain Myra Vance walked through the corridors of the Horizon Star, watching engineers and scientists work tirelessly. "We have to learn everything we can about them," she said, knowing that knowledge might be the only advantage humanity had. Dr. Lila Chen gathered the crew around a holographic display, showing patterns in the alien signals captured during the last battle. "Look here," she said, pointing at a faint pulse in the alien shields. "They react violently to fire-based energy, but only if applied precisely." The officers exchanged worried looks. "That could be our advantage," Mira whispered, but she knew that even with this knowledge, using it would be dangerous. Every maneuver would be risky, and one mistake could destroy the entire fleet. As the scientists studied the alien technology, a new problem emerged. A traitor within the fleet was attempting to sabotage the plans, sending false coordinates to mimic alien weaknesses. Panic rippled through the ranks as security teams hunted for the culprit. Myra's instincts told her to act quickly. She confronted the traitor, a young pilot who had been blackmailed by the aliens. "We fight together or we die alone," she said, her voice firm. The pilot nodded, ashamed but relieved, and revealed the correct coordinates, restoring the fleet's trust. Meanwhile, Admiral Riker called a council of the fleet commanders. "We have one chance to strike at the heart of their fleet," he said, the hologram of the alien armada hovering above the table. "We will lure them into the sun's gravitational field, using fire-based weapons to destroy them." The plan was daring, almost suicidal. Each ship had a role. Some would act as bait, drawing the aliens closer, while others waited to strike at critical points. Mira understood that many would not survive, yet she agreed, knowing humanity had no other choice. As the fleet prepared, engineers modified every weapon, converting lasers and missiles into concentrated fire energy. Pilots practiced maneuvers over and over, simulations failing again and again, but each mistake taught them something new. Every second of preparation was a step closer to survival. The strange signal from deep space pulsed again, brighter than ever, guiding the fleet to the perfect position. Mira felt a surge of hope. "This signal is our path," she said, rallying the crew. "If we follow it, we can win." But the alien fleet had not forgotten. They began sending scouts and destroyers, probing the Midnight Fleet's defenses. Tension grew. Every blink of the sensors could mean a surprise attack. Every pilot braced for impact, engines humming, weapons ready. In the final hours before the attack, Myra looked out at the black void of space, knowing that courage and strategy would decide the fate of Earth. The Midnight Fleet was ready, but the risk was immense. The trap they set might destroy them as easily as it destroyed the aliens. As the fleet moved into position, the aliens took the bait, massive ships following the human fleet toward the sun. The gravitational pull began to strain their engines, shields flickering, while the humans prepared to unleash the fire-based weapons. And in that moment, silence filled the fleet. The calm before the storm. Every soul aboard knew that this battle would determine the future of Earth. There was no turning back, and no hope except their courage. The midnight strike. The Midnight Fleet hovered at the edge of the sun's gravitational pull. Every ship tense, shields humming, engines straining. Captain Myra Vance gripped the controls of the Horizon Star, her eyes fixed on the alien fleet ahead, massive and glowing. Admiral Riker's voice came over the comms, steady and calm. "This is it. Execute the plan on my mark. Remember, precision is everything. We cannot afford mistakes." The pilots nodded, hearts pounding, hands ready on the controls. The aliens, unaware of the trap, followed the human fleet closer to the sun, engines burning, shields flickering under the gravitational stress. Every ship in the Midnight Fleet had a role, some as bait, drawing the enemy forward, others ready to strike at the weak points identified from the strange signal. Engage fire-based weapons, Mira shouted, her voice cutting through the hum of the engines. Beams of concentrated fire energy shot from the human ships, striking the alien shields at the precise frequency, sparks flying across enemy hulls, explosions lighting the void. The alien fleet faltered, shields collapsing in a cascade of sparks and fire. Some ships exploded instantly, fragments spinning through space. Pilots on the Midnight Fleet maneuvered with deadly precision, dodging debris, targeting the remaining vessels, courage and skill blending into a perfect storm. Myra led a daring strike at the alien command ship, weaving between massive lasers, engines flaring. Now or never, she shouted, firing the concentrated fire energy directly at its core. The ship shuddered violently, sparks erupting across its hull, systems failing one by one. The rest of the fleet followed, coordinating their attacks like a single living organism. Every strike calculated, every movement synchronized. The aliens were thrown into chaos, retreating where possible. But the gravitational pull of the sun and the relentless fire-based weapons left few escape routes. Amid the battle, smaller human ships shielded damaged vessels, risking destruction to save comrades. Pilots screamed over comms as explosions rocked the fleet, courage and fear coexisting in every heartbeat. Finally, the alien command ship erupted in a massive explosion, sending shockwaves through the remaining vessels. The fleet reeled, fragments spinning into the sun, and the remaining aliens retreated in disarray, their fleet shattered and broken. Captain Myra exhaled, watching the void light up with the final sparks of the destroyed alien armada. Humanity had survived, against impossible odds. The Midnight Fleet, battered and scarred, had proven that humans were not to be underestimated. On the bridge, Myra looked at her crew, smiling despite the exhaustion. "We did it," she said softly, her voice trembling. "Earth is safe, for now." Yet she knew the galaxy had taken notice, that humans were strong, clever, and capable of fighting back against even the greatest threats. As the fleet limped back toward Earth, celebrations were quiet but heartfelt. Survivors embraced, tears and laughter mixing. Humanity had survived the greatest threat it had ever faced, united and stronger than before. And somewhere in the vast darkness of space, distant fleets observed, taking note of the courage, skill, and fire of humanity. The message was clear: Earth would never kneel, and humans would always fight for their home. The Midnight Fleet had answered with fire, and the galaxy would remember.